An alleged KC sibling has come out with more hate against Annayia and Carl, and Melanie and Sincere have been spotted, and there's backlash. Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. So, today we are talking Love Island USA Season 8 postseason. It is the gift that keeps on giving. Today is Monday, July 27th, and that means we're just a couple days away from our winners, Brinity, and the runners-up, Annayia, who are going to be on Watch What Happens Live Wednesday night, and I'm hoping that they also get to do Jimmy Fallon as well, but I guess we'll just have to see, right? We will have to see how long this press tour lasts, if it's just Watch What Happens Live, or if it's going to be some of the other media and publications and everything else that is going to be on the way. So, Brinity has been spotted quite a bit in Los Angeles. It looks as though Bryce has got a haircut. Trinity posted a cute little tickety talk yesterday at Bryce's place where he's working on his DJ set. He's working on music because I believe he has new music coming out soon with Ty Dolla $ign. And then Trinity is, basically showing her domestic side, right? Because I think it was, what I'm saying, some Mexicana food, right? So some Mexican food that they had or whatever, like tacos, all the things, right? So that's that on that. Next, we got to get into the Melanie and Sincere of it all. So, as you guys know, initially coming out of the villa, Melanie has not been spotted at all with Sincere. Sincere had went home, right? Sincere had went home. So, initially, she was spotted out with Kata and Zack Attack and Charlie. They went out. She also was spotted out with Trinity and Bryce and everything else. It looks like as of a few days ago, give or take, Sincere has finally made it to Los Angeles. So they had been apart for about maybe like a week and a half or so since the show had ended. And he has made his way to Los Angeles to spend some time, with Melanie, right? And I'm a little bit confused as far as why some of y'all are crashing out about this. Melanie told us on the show that she was going to stick beside Sincere no matter what, and was going to give him a chance on the outside to see whether or not he was going to prove himself. We saw him immediately come outside the villa and have a massive following of these women that was near 3,000 follows, that he took it down, I think, to 2,000 or something along those lines. I haven't been keeping track. And then ultimately, he did an interview with Complex, right? Did an interview with Complex. That was the same interview that he did where he basically said that he probably did too much with Amora and it was always going to be Melanie. That is the same interview that he said that he is going to try to work things out with Melanie's family, and that's what he's working on now, trying to rebuild things and basically confirm that him and Melanie were still together. Up until this point, Melanie has not been posting any couples content or any content with her and Sincere because she knows y'all don't like that man and y'all not fooling with that man. And she also knows, as from what we saw in the show, her family didn't like that man and wasn't fooling with that man, although they did all hang out together in Fiji and went to the water park together after it was said and done on that episode. Anyways, right? Here's the thing. This season, this cast, you cannot predict what they are and are not going to do. You can't do what you did last season. Some of you fans and Twitter, I'm looking at you especially, where y'all are orchestrating all these Stan Wars and y'all are orchestrating all this conflict amongst the Islanders, and the Islanders are getting caught up in it. You know what I'm saying? Unless your name is Casey, right? But the core four and their men have decided, listen, looky here. We don't care what the internet says. We don't care what the people say. We're going to be 10 toes down for each other. We're not going to allow these fans who did not live with us for 6 weeks try to tear our friendships apart, try to tear our relationships apart. We know what's the truth and what's not, right? Because Kata and Zack Attack, as you know, have since been separated since Zack Attack has gone home and Kata is still in New Hampshire, but they appear to be making it work. Now, the couple that we really haven't been seeing yet is Carl and Annayia. So last night, Carl attended the Olivia Dean show, and it was fanfare for these fans. We just got a couple of clips here of what the pandemonium was like for some Carl.
Annayia, where's Annayia? Where's Annayia? Where's Annayia?
So, as you can see, these fans love them some Carl and were asking about Annayia and all the things. And then Carl went home and was reposting content about his family meeting Annayya's family on Family Day. So, I believe in the next day or two, you know what I'm saying? Either today or tomorrow, Annayia will be reunited. You know what I'm saying? That they will be in New York and all the things. So, I'm sure there is going to be boots on the ground of y'all stalking the airports, of y'all stalking New York City and all this and all that, hoping to get some content of Carl and Annayia like y'all have been doing in Los Angeles with all of the couples that are out there. Like make it make sense. Make it make sense. So the reason that we are here in this video is because there is a video that is going viral that is allegedly from one of Casey's siblings, allegedly from one of Casey's siblings, allegedly from one of Casey's siblings. Because remember, Casey has a whole lot of siblings, right? Now, we remember last time that this happened was during the show. There was an alleged sibling that basically said that, you know, Annayia should be putting out for Casey. And the fact that you're not going to give him none after a couple of weeks speaks to your character. Remember that? Remember that? And there was all this backlash online, only to find out the alleged person is a cousin or something on one side of the family. Still was a relative, but I guess not a close sibling. So I guess since they were a cousin, it wasn't as bad, even though it was still proven that there's a relation to Casey. Now, I am of confusion. I'm not sure why there is still discourse on Carl and Annayia, let alone Annayia and Casey, and we're about to head into August, you guys. The only time these conversations should be happening again is whatever takes place and transpires at the reunion when it airs on August 31st. Outside of that, there should not be daily discourse, daily TikTok lives, daily tweets, daily anything, still trying to dissect the drama of this season, right? Because it's clear that there's a certain group of Islanders that are not trying to feed into the drama, that are not trying to feed into the frenzy, but some of y'all don't like that. Some of y'all have to keep the drama going. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reasons. I don't know if it's for money. I don't know if it's for clout. I don't know what it is. But allegedly the people are saying this is Casey's sister who a couple of days ago decided to post this on the Tickety Talk that has since gone viral. I believe has over 100,000 views, and she of course pinned the video because this is the most motion that she is getting by allegedly disrespecting her brother's former couple. So let's see what she's got to say.
I know the person who is the most shaken on the creek right now is Carl, hands down. The way y'all castigated, crucified, and dragged Casey for virtually doing nothing, for doing things that you accused him of, that you saw via your imagination. The way Carl is literally creeping on the creek right now, because Carl does not really want to be with Annayia. And
did Casey tell you this? Did Carl tell Casey this? How do you know for certain that Carl does not want to be with Annayia? Number one. Number two, what imaginary things are you talking about that the people made up about Casey when we saw him say himself, calling Annayia a grandma, telling Corbin him and Annayia, quote unquote, ate done SHIT, in response to Corbin saying that he was doing some DJing with Kenzie. Him and Corbin making up a little inside joke to look at Annayia and laugh at her face in her presence as if you could not stand her and hate her guts. Making breakfast that she did not request. Basically trying to have her all carved up and loaded up when all she wanted was some fruit and maybe here and there some eggs. And you got her some burnt pancakes. You know what I'm saying? Or complaining about her, that she's draining, that she's fragile, and that their connection was not organic on After Sun, right? Or him and Tay, right? Getting on the YouTube and basically calling Annayia and the Core 4 bullies, and that they isolated them from the entire villa when that's not the same episodes that we saw. Or Casey complaining about Annayia during Casa Amor and basically said that there was nothing that they had in common and that that Annayia can't say or do anything against him because whatever next argument they have, he's going to have more leeway. And he's going to be the one that's going to have his stocks up and have all this aura. And it's going to have to be Annayia that has to fight for him. No. Let's continue.
And none of y'all can see that. I don't know what to tell you. He was interested in her along the way. He lost attraction. That's the thing. People lose attraction. They are attracted and then lose attraction. But then seeing how they all did KC and seeing that he was brought back just to be tonight, he just went with it. But now that he's out and he see all this, the way the world has made it a personal mission to destroy KC.
The world is not making it a personal mission to destroy KC. KC is making it a personal mission to play the victim and feed into the toxic side of his fan base that believes that he's done absolutely nothing wrong. So the longer that KC feeds into those fans that are telling him, you did nothing wrong, Annayia was the problem, Annayia was the issue, but that's not factual considering that, Annayia was able to thrive without Casey. She never risked elimination. She was never dumped from the villa. She was never in no bottom vote. You know what I'm saying? She was always going to be Gucci. It was Casey that fumbled the 100K. Him and Annayia were at the top of all of the polls. Until Casey started being a weirdo about Soul. Because he was jealous because once again, Corbin's getting all this action, Gabe is getting all this action, Sincere is getting all this action. Recently, Zack Attack and Kata got the hideaway and everything else. Everybody was getting action but him, and he was jealous. He was jealous, but he also knew that he couldn't risk it for a biscuit. He couldn't risk his couple and getting with Soul because his ASS would have been booted. And there would have been no Casa Amor. But the world is not trying to destroy or dehumanize KC. That's just not true. The show is about women. The show is about treating women with respect. And the men this season did not do that. They did the bare minimum and they talk crazy about these ladies behind their back. And you're expecting people to just completely ignore that and be all up in their face and give them brand deals and give them opportunities if you are representing a company, but on the show, you were nothing but disrespectful and inappropriate and rude against women. Make it make sense. Let's continue.
He's feeling trapped right now. I'm telling you right now, he's feeling trapped and he's trying to make himself comfortable because he knows he can't just get out of this relationship. That's what you did. You trapped this nigga who doesn't really want to be with Annayia. And it's going to be very interesting what y'all say within a year's time when that relationship finally runs its course.
It's interesting, this false narrative that people are saying that Carl is trapped and Carl feels restricted. The same comments that Casey finally admitted that he felt about Annayia, even though Annayia confronted him about that and he denied it and said that he was happy in his couple and it would have to take a lot and it would have to take something more than a couple of days for him to ever switch up on her, only for him to switch up on her after a couple of days when it came to Casa Amor. Now, I can't stress enough, I have no problem with him picking TT. I just didn't like the energy that they came back to when they got back at the Casa recoupling. I didn't like their behavior during movie night, and I don't like some of the snarky and snide comments, like calling Melanie a dumb ASS, like making fun of Brinity for becoming boyfriend and girlfriend, only for y'all to turn around and quickly become boyfriend and girlfriend when y'all saw it as an opportunity to gain votes from America. No. But this notion that Carl is trapped, right? So when Carl was immediately dumped from Casa Amor and immediately was in a holding room and was asked questions about Annayia, he didn't come across like he was pissed off that Annayia didn't pick him. He wasn't coming across as somebody who was off Annayia. He talked about his genuine, real feelings for Annayia and that her and KC were done, so that was over, right? Then both of the Casa men and women found out that they potentially could come back to the show, that they've never done this before. They were going to do America vote to send back a Casa person in, right? And then they do After Sun, right? And Carl basically says when asked about Annayia, he was still interested in her. However, his walls were up. He also said that Amora was pretty, and also Sydney had her lips out for Carl to kiss her, or whatever the case may be, even though Sierra encouraged it. And I will still stand on the fact that that was not appropriate, and that type of scenario where somebody potentially is going to come back to the show and you just want to see everybody kiss each other. No. Carl makes it back into the villa, right? And ultimately, him and Annayia have a conversation. Annayia immediately apologized. He tells Annayia that his walls are up and he's still going to be exploring other connections. We find out from Amora that, in fact, Carl was exploring other connections with her, except for the entire time that they were talking, he would always talk about Annayia and how strong his feelings were for Annayia instead of them exploring a connection. The next day, Annayia started putting on the freaky deaky outfit, started putting on the bodysuit, started putting on the short dresses and all of this and all of that to basically say, listen, looky here. You know what I'm saying? You can have your walls all up all you want to, but I'm going to be putting on my best foot forward as well. And that is how the second Say Less makeout session, you know what I'm saying, that is going to be on the Hall of Fame for Love Island USA Kisses, you know what I'm saying, went down, right? So this notion, and even at the final episode, Carl telling Annayia during their date that it was always going to be her. He always wanted her. He was always interested in her. And we have the receipts of when he first came to Casa, how he was always laser focused in on Annayia, right? Wanted to kiss Annayia first. Wanted to, was freaking out at the thought that any of these other men could have potentially chose Annayia and he would not have been selected, right? And even when Carl has come out of the villa, has still been very much, you know what I'm saying, flirting with Annayia, being kind to Annayia, interacting with Annaya's family, her family interacting with his family, all of this and all of that, and y'all still don't believe it. Y'all still don't believe that Carl actually likes Annayia. Y'all seem to think that Carl feels trapped when ultimately they don't have to stay together. Everybody knows that they're long distance. Everybody knows long distance is hard work. Not everybody is equipped to do what Bergie and Taylor are doing from season 5. Not everybody is equipped to do what Taylor and Clark are doing from season 7, which is trying to maintain a long distance relationship. Not everybody is equipped for that. But we will find out in the Watch What Happens Live interview if Annayia and Carl did see each other in between these past couple weeks and we didn't know about it, or if this is their first time really being able to see each other and spend time together since the show. We will find all of that out in a couple of days. You know what I'm saying? But this notion that Carl feels trapped is crazy to me when there has been no signs or indications that Carl felt suffocated or trapped by Annayia when he said on the show, on the last episode, that all that stuff that KC was saying about Annayia, all that stuff that y'all were trying to put out there about Annaya's personality and her demeanor, He's not seeing any of that with Annayia. And that is because when you are happy with somebody, you're going to bring out the best in someone. When you are unhappy, it's going to bring out your worst. So we just have a little bit more to listen to, and then we will conclude the reaction to allegedly this sister.
Because that is a man that is scared of being forever canceled. Like, truly, if you can see it in his eyes, and he's just like, Annayia is not only not his ideal type, Annayia is not who he even wanted in the villa. He wanted to explore it, but then seeing the vibes, like, oh, y'all just want me here to rescue her. Okay, he's still not over her not picking him up. I promise you, men are very, they don't let that shit go. They don't let shit like that go. They don't. And then seeing that everything, the fallout with KC, and not understanding, why the response to the things he did was so harsh, because there wasn't really a valid reason for him to even be getting any of this backlash. He's literally just shaking. He's shaking. I don't know, bro. I just hope that y'all can hold Anniya's hand like they were holding her hand, as if she heard that her only child got terminal cancer, have only 5 weeks to live. Because when that slow breakup, when that it's not me, it's not you, it's me breakup happens, via Carl trying to escape from Annayia, I just don't want to hear y'all theories. I really think they're gonna get married and everything. Anybody with spiritual discernment knows that nigga feels stuck and trapped, and he's going to stick it out as long as he can. But then he's going to be giving hints like slowly backing away off the motherfucking creek.
And for those reasons alone, I hope Carl and Annayia do get married. Because what does this take? What does this take? Nobody is pressuring Annayia and Carl to be together. Like I said, they've had the least time in the villa together compared to any other couple. So it would not be breaking news. It would not be shocking if, in fact, they broke up. You know what I'm saying? Like, see, that's the thing. Annayia is going to be fine whether she's with Carl or not. And I believe that Carl's going to be fine whether he is with Annayia or not, because ultimately, y'all have, he's amassed over 1.2 million followers, and y'all were feeling Carl. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are in love with Carl in Denver. You know what I'm saying? Y'all love him down in Denver. But it's crazy to me that instead of focusing on Casey and TT as a couple, y'all are all monitoring what Carl and Annayia got going on. And that's how I know y'all really don't give a crap about Casey when it's all said and done. It is all about to spite Annayia. It is all waiting for the other shoe to drop because you want to feel justified that the way KC completely fumbled the 100K all on his own is somehow Annayya's fault, and that KC should be justified for how he talked about Annayia and how he talked to Annayia when everything came crashing down. That you want validation for his disrespect against Annayia, and it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Even if Carl and Annayia don't work out, guess what? It's going to be due to distance and their busy schedules. It's not going to be because Carl feels suffocated. It's not going to be because Carl never really liked Annayia. It's not going to be because Carl couldn't explore when he explored Amora on the show. We just didn't see it. But it's crazy to me that y'all are still trying to make Annayia the villain in this story. And meanwhile, it's been a few weeks. Annayia has not done one interview, has not done one press clipping of any sort to give y'all any energy on what she truly feels about the KC situation. But it is okay for KC to run his mouth and say whatever about Annayia. Whether true or false, and y'all just take it and run with it, especially if it's negative, to continue y'all hate trains. And it's crazy to me. It is crazy and insane to me that this is what we're doing. That these are the lengths y'all are willing to go just to see Annayia humiliated and destroyed and broken down once again. It's like you don't even see Annayia as a human being. You do not see her as a woman that deserves any type of love or any type of good treatment or whatever the case may be from a man. And let's talk about it. Y'all know that KC is not who Carl is. Y'all knew KC's not going to be chivalrous. He's not going to be about the fairy tales. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be about all these things. So why do you care, is my question. Why are you so pressed over this, is my question. Is it because nothing is working out for Casey the way that he envisioned, which is why there is a couple's YouTube in the first place? Is it because Annayia is not giving y'all anything to try to bash her for, so all y'all have is to regurgitate whatever happened on the show that y'all want to twist around, and y'all are trying to wish all these things upon Carl. Y'all wish that he's the next Kenny. Y'all wish that he felt trapped and restricted. Y'all want him to feel the same things that KC has said that he's felt, but never told Annayia until it was the 11th hour. Until it was too late. Until he saw her humiliated, broken down, and having a whole, you know what I'm saying, a whole breakdown out there. So this is wild if this is really Casey's sibling, because if this is really Casey's sibling, that means that Casey still feels a way, that he's not liked like that outside of the people that he is gravitating to that hate Annayia. And he is upset that he's not getting the Watch What Happens Live appearance, that he's not getting the Today Show appearance, that he's not getting the People magazine cover photo shoot and exclusive interview. It is giving entitlement, it is giving jealousy, it is giving insecurity that Casey had this false narrative in his mind that his stocks were going to be up, he was going to have all this aura, and him, Sincere, and Corbin were going to run everything outside of the villa. And I said, H-double-L, no, that is never happening. That is never happening. Core 4 is a brand, and what these final two couples decide to do or not do is a brand. Outside of that, you gotta hustle. You gotta go out and get it like what Jen and Kenzie and Caleb are doing. But sitting on Tickety Talk Lives, listening to other people bash Annayia, following accounts on the Twitter or the Tickety Talk that hate Annayia, and being obsessed that it hopes that it fuels your false narratives about Annayia, it's not getting to the bag. It's not getting you any motion. Trying to victimize yourself and pull the whole sympathy act is not going to get you the motion. Brands are not going to be interested. So with that being said, that is it for this video. I need y'all to do me the biggest favor, and that is to hype the video. Hype the video, please. There is that. That is it. That is all. Es todos es final. Es finito. Es the end the road. Es the end the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.